Hello, and welcome back to the Raising Wild Hearts podcast, where we believe we can change the world by starting at home in our own minds and hearts. Today's conversation was recorded live, and it's guest hosted by my dear friend, again, Danielle Neufeld. Thank you so much, Danielle. I love you. Her and her husband, Greg, host an amazing podcast called The Most Important Thing. It's all about family leadership and creating a meaningful culture at home. It's very intentional and very inspiring. You can listen to her show wherever you get your podcasts or at tmitpod.com. I'll link that down in the description as well. So today, Danielle sat down with the brilliant and joy-filled Brooke Musial. She is founder of Musical Breathwork, and she was one of the speakers at Rise Flourish. And she really explored how our bodies are instruments of intuition. Her session was so profound. And I have to tell you, I got hit with this massive wave of goosebumps at one point during Brooke's talk. And that's what it was all about. She's talking about our biofields, how our energetics expand around us, how we get to literally control our own fields, and how if we pay attention, we can notice things around us, slight, subtle nuances in our environment. And that's what intuition is. And that's where it comes from. And Brooke is a master of sound and breath and fascia. And she's really teaching us how we can use those elements to bring ourselves back into alignment. So I know you are going to love this conversation with the brilliant Brooke Musial and Danielle Neufeld. Let's jump in.
Hi, Brooke. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having me here.
Yeah, so you just recently ended your session. How are you feeling?
Oh, charged up. I really think that everything hit a note, the point I was trying to make, which is like the gift of intuition. I think I was able to make it using experience within the body in order to open our minds up to how this electromagnetic frequency really moves within us.
What has inspired you to do this work?
We have to move through a lot of fear in order to make good, rational choices. And fear can sometimes hold us back. If we experience fear and we have stagnation from that fear because we don't know how to make choices, that can lead to dysfunction. So we often talk about stagnation within the body creating disease or issues, but stagnation in choice also does that, like in our life and in our momentum and our energy. So we can harness how our body is communicating to us. And it's about opening our perception to not only the breath rate that we have and the body tension that we have, but also understanding that our brain can take in a lot of information or a little bit of information based on focus. And how these are calibrated within the body is going to control what we experience. My belief is that the body is incredibly more intelligent than we think it is. And if we allow ourselves to listen to its nuances, we can use it to assist us in making good choices.
What a beautiful message, especially for moms. Can you tell me about the energy of the audience today and how it differs from maybe some other places where you've spoken?
Well, I can tell that this is like a powerhouse audience. A lot of local entrepreneurs, a lot of women that are used to wielding a matriarchy. I see a lot of families that are the fulcrum point is the women in these audience.
Yes.
So they're used to being decision makers and they are not used to playing a passive role in how to move through choice. So I think a lot of them are seeking within themselves. The audience was, in my opinion, more focused on what is practical and what tools they can actually use to take with them. So everybody was very engaged, very present.
That's beautiful. Especially if you're talking to all these fulcrums of families, think of the ripple effect that you're having. So when you first heard about Rise and Flourish, what inspired you to join the event today?
Well, I was really honored that Ashley and Ryan asked me right as soon as they were making it. So was able to block my schedule, but the choice of words fits with my business very well. I say often, together we rise. Because it's not alone. We really think of success as like something that you do to yourself, but most grand success is made by teams, by people working together and powering each other to move and grow. So when they told me they picked I Rise, it's like, oh yes, because together we rise. Yeah. That's how we move ourselves into this new way of looking at things, this new way of reframing our reality. We're living in an overstimulated, complex area, but if we come back to our basic tools, the way the body was built, things can simplify, but we need each other.
Sure.
To remind each other of that.
Very much.
Yeah.
What does Rise and Flourish mean to you personally in this season of life?
I would say that Rise and Flourish for me would be waking up with good energy and feeling mission driven, feeling committed to the goals that I've set before me, but also playful within those goals.
Sure.
My mantra right now is keep the silly goose alive.
Oh, I like that. That's so important.
With the silly goose is only alive when you're like organized, when you're prepared. And even in the chaotic moments, sometimes the silly goose can help us move through that with swiftness and right?
Absolutely. Can really help get unstuck, right? When we sometimes are kind of very linear, rigid as a type A mom, fulcrum of the family. I'm very good at the linear thinking and coloring within the lines, if you will. But more recently, I've learned about how to, say, engage my trickster energy and become more playful and get creative about problem solving, coloring outside the lines, if you will. So
that's a great reference. Yeah. If you have the same task in front of you, but before you accomplish it, you're like, okay, how can I have fun? Like I'm folding laundry. The kids are asleep, but can you do like a silent disco to yourself? Like during that same pocket of time to raise your energy so that it feels nourishing.
Yes.
By the time you're done.
Yeah. It's important to remember that life is play, right? And ultimately, if we can get to laughter, I think that the day is a lot more fun.
Me too.
Yeah, that's so cool. Thanks for bringing that energy here today.
Yeah, that's my job. My job is to bring the merriment, the singing and the dancing, which is why the company is called Musical Breathwork. If we are singing and dancing through life, we're doing a pretty damn good job at navigating it.
That's beautiful. What would you say to the mom that doesn't feel like they have the time to attend Rise and Flourish?
Take whatever time you need. I hope that this will become an annual thing, if not semi-annual.
Yes, or more often, right? Exactly.
Yeah. And I think that the community that is being built won't go anywhere. I think that this is only going to strengthen and bond people. When they need to dip into that sense of community, it'll be here for them. So everything at the right time.
But we're here creating the foundation, right?
Yeah. That network is really essential, I think, for all of us to grow and to rise.
Last question. What is your favorite self-care?
Singing is my favorite self-care. I think that I can shake off the EVGBs faster when I sing a song that means a lot to me in that moment. Whatever that song may be, I think it probably changes every month. Like what song is my pump up jam? But sometimes treating your life like you're coming through an athletic tunnel.
Yes,
you're about to on the football field. Like drinking a coffee for you can sometimes reset your whole day. It can bolster your mood. And I find myself constantly relying on music and singing in order to just acclimate from whatever failure or loss or juncture of time.
I feel like there's probably the vagal stimulation, right? Set your frequencies and understand and really just connect your whole, ground your whole body, right? And attune to the energy that you're being inspired by.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, scientifically, we would say that singing extends your exhales, makes your inhales greater. And then all of that vibration and stimulation here, it totally triggers your vagal tone. It also gets us to make some nitric oxide, which helps us, open our blood vessels. But something as simple as singing or humming when you're doing the dishes for 4 minutes can really assist the body in relaxing. So that's my favorite tool these days.
I think it's a great one. It hits on so many things, right? Within the body and the mind.
What a beautiful reminder that intuition is not something we have to chase. It's something we can feel in the rhythm of our own breath and life. Thank you so much to Brooke Musial for bringing so much light, laughter, and medicine to Rise and Flourish. And of course, to my friend Danielle Neufeld for guest hosting this special conversation so beautifully. You can explore more of Brooke's work at musicalbreathwork.com. I'll put that link in the description. And of course, check out Danielle's podcast with her husband, Greg, The Most Important Thing at tmitpod.com. And if this episode resonated with you, please share it with a friend who might need a moment of breath and beauty in her day. It helps the show get in front of more minds and hearts when you guys share it with your people. So thank you. And of course, if you're not following along, follow on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows. Until next time, go love someone well.